Hello, I'm out of breath as I'm climbing up this mountain. It's very tall and it's very steep, as you can see. This very tall mountain. It's exhausting, but I'm almost to the top of it. And you can see how far down it goes. It really doesn't go that far down, but it's the tallest thing I can find. And the reason why I'm climbing this mountain, this hill, is to talk about God's covenant with Moses that happened on Mount Sinai. And when he was on Mount Sinai, God gave the 2 tablets of the 10 commandments. And I have 2 stone tablets with me right here talking about the 10 commandments. First, the 10 commandments are not multiple choice. We don't get to pick and choose. And the second, what part of thou shalt not didn't you understand? Like a parent who says, what part of don't do that? What part of you don't get to eat extra dessert did you not understand? What part of don't throw vegetables at your siblings didn't you understand? You guys ever had your parents say something like that? So my other personal favorite one with the 10 commandments is to say that they are the 10 commandments, not the 10 suggestions, right? Your parents don't just suggest that you brush your teeth, right? They say, no, you have to brush your teeth. Why? Because you want your teeth to be healthy, right? So that's why God gives us the commandments, because he loves us. And in God's covenant with Moses, right, up on the mountain, he said, I will be with you, I will bless you, I will provide you with a priestly people so that you will be blessed, that you will have my love and my life within you. And God promises to be with us always. But at the same time, with every covenant and the promise of God's blessing, God also, he asks certain things of us, right? So he asks us to obey the commandments. Now, what happens if we don't obey the commandments, right? If we don't obey what God has laid out for us, we lose that life of God within us. But the most important thing that I want to teach you today and for you to know is that when this happens, right, when all of a sudden we lose God's blessing and we don't have God's presence within us, if we sin in a pretty big way, it is not because God is saying, I'm going to take that from you. Like, really, you didn't obey me, so now I'm going to take it out on you. I'm mad at you and I'm going to punish you. That's not what God does. God loves us and he always loves us. Right now, you see the sun? It's very, very shining, right? And if I turn and I'm facing the sun, I'm like, I can feel the warmth of the sun on my face. And it's so amazing. Look at that. It's so great. The sun is there, it's shining, I can feel it. But what happens if I decide, you can see how like glowing my face is? Isn't it lovely? But if all of a sudden I decide to turn my back on the sun and I turn away from the sun, you don't see my face glowing anymore, do you? Because I have chosen to turn around. The sun, it's still right there. The sun is still shining, but it's not shining on my face anymore. Why? Is the sun punishing me? No, and I don't feel that warmth anymore. The sun isn't punishing me. It's that I've turned my back on it. When we turn away from God, right? God isn't like, now you're going to be punished and I will smite you, right? That's not what's happening. When we turn our back on God by not obeying the commandments, we're saying, Lord, I'm putting distance between myself and you. We are choosing to separate ourselves from God's blessings, right? But the beautiful thing is God always lets us turn back to him, right? In the beautiful sacrament of confession. So I don't have to be cold. I can turn back and feel the warmth of the glowing sun on my face again, right? That is why, ultimately, God sent his son Jesus to be among us, so that the Son of God would shine upon us, right? And God's covenant with Moses, he gave the 10 commandments. But within that, at that time, there was no way for us to receive forgiveness of sins if we would break the commandments. But that's why God's covenant with Moses wasn't the last covenant, because the final new and everlasting covenant was a covenant of Jesus, where Jesus died for us and shed his blood for us, right? And feeds us in the Eucharist and gives us the opportunity to truly, once and for all, be forgiven. So we're super, super grateful for God's covenant with Moses. It's awesome. but it was a stepping stone to ultimately the covenant with Jesus that truly sets us free and gives us new life. So let's do all we can today to obey the 10 Commandments and to just find ourselves in communion with that beautiful covenant with Moses. God bless you.